Welcome to another episode of In the Spotlight Presents. Listen, we're doing something different. We have a special guest today, and I am so honored to have her here. We are looking at another Black woman doing business, and just so happen the name of her business is Blk Women Can. So that's what we're going to be talking about. We want to welcome you, Raven. Don't forget, like, subscribe. Thank you for joining us. Blk Women Can. So,
thank you for having me.
Oh, we thank you for being here. I am so excited for so many reasons. As I've shared with you, the At My Sister's House is really dedicated to the empowerment, the strengthening, placing knowledge with the Black woman. Same as your mission statement. Let's start there. When did you get started and the why?
Yeah, I started Blk Women Can in 2021. I launched it on my birthday, September 23rd, 2021. And that was something that I had to pray about.
Right.
Because when I wanted to launch it was in like July.
Okay.
And, you know, I just kept praying about it. It was like, if you start it right now, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So I had to wait. I had to be patient. That was hard.
Right.
And then, you know, I was praying and I just got that, you know, launch it on your birthday. And I was like, I gotta share that with my birthday. You know, like, what if I want to do something for my birthday? I said,
right.
You know what? I think that's the best birthday gift. In the end, it was to start my business that day. But when I started this idea, I knew I wanted to do something.
Right.
And it was kind of like, I want to do something. In college, I majored in criminal justice and a minor in African American studies. I've always had a passion for our people.
Right.
And you want to talk about it, we're going to talk about it all day long.
Right.
You want to talk about Black women, we're going to talk about Black women all day long.
Exactly.
And I was just trying to come up with something that I could do that puts us out there in a way that was bold, in a way that is, you know, I know this isn't going to be for everybody.
Right.
And I know I'm getting real specific saying this is for Black women.
Exactly.
And I was actually talking to my husband about it and my mom, and we were just trying to figure out, like, what am I going to call it? And my husband actually said Blk Women Can. He was like, I think you should spell it BLK. He was like, you sound like a statement.
Right.
He's like, you just sound black. I was like, okay.
Right.
So immediately when I finally decided on the name, I went and I like purchased the website. I purchased everything. Right. I said, nobody gonna take it from me. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet.
Yeah.
But nobody gonna take it from me.
Right.
And I was like, this statement, Blk Women Can, is just so powerful, but it seems so obvious.
Right.
I said, nobody has this.
Right.
I said, there's not enough people out here encouraging themselves.
Exactly.
Like, Blk Women Can. I said, that is the most, even spelled BLACK.
Right.
And I know that wasn't taken because I trademarked BLK, and you can't trademark something that's close to another thing.
Right.
So I started to all this research, said, nobody has this. Okay, well, we finna take it and we finna run.
Wow.
You know, I said, it's not enough people out here. We have, you know, little things here and there, but the obvious blanket statement of Blk Women Can.
Right.
I said, we need to talk about that more. We need to talk about all the women that were told they couldn't be in a certain space.
Exactly.
Or do a certain thing. And the ones that did it, the ones that are afraid to do it, we're going to encourage them to do it. And we want to watch them do it.
Now, with that said, your clothing line is called an empowerment apparel store, created by us, for us. I love that.
Yes.
And like you said, when you went, because I want to go back there for a moment, because a lot of times there's fears attached to niches or isolating yourself from the larger market, as they say. Was there any fear that by saying Blk Women Can, okay, now am I still going to succeed at the same level, knowing I just narrowed in my audience?
Absolutely. And so not only did I say, oh, we only talking to Black women, I also said we only talking to women.
Right.
So I knew I was cutting out a lot of audiences.
Right.
I'm like, you know, well, maybe I should do, you know, brown women, you know, because there's
right.
a lot of brown people.
Right.
And I said, no. This one's our turn. I said, and then I have all the people like, even the guys in my life, what about the men? What about black men? I said, it's not about you.
Not this time.
I'm talking about black women right now.
Right.
And I was afraid that I'm leaving out a lot of people.
Right.
And I'm just grateful that I was confident enough in what I talk about that in the 2 years my business has been open, I've maybe only had one person comment and say, well, what about...
Right.
And I said, this isn't an all lives matter type of thing. This is about black women.
Exactly.
And I'm just astounded that I've had so many other nationalities support it too.
Excellent.
And we have allies. We have so many people that want to see black women succeed, that I have very close friends that are of different races that buy my merchandise. Just this one exactly.
Right.
And they wear it. And I could get them say, you know what, every time I wear this, I get the craziest look.
Right.
Say, oh, you can smile and nod. Just smile away.
Just showing the support. And you know, it's something about empowerment. And sometimes it's the thing, and I think going back to slavery, and you and I have talked about this, there was always this hush-hush to certain things, or we'll whisper when it comes to certain subjects. So it's something empowering about saying, black women can. I'm not dismissing no one else. I just want to remind you, black women can. Yes. And I think that in and of itself is just a power statement, and it's a bold statement, and it's empowering, and wearing the apparel that says it.
And,
you know,
it was something that even I had to get used to. I said, if I'm step out here in this space and be bold about it, you know, we can't tiptoe.
Right. A
lot of times we get a little nervous.
Yeah.
And when we stepping in, you know, we code switch.
Right.
We know how to be bold in some rooms and not other rooms.
Hello.
Pick and choose where we're gonna be real black, and we're just gonna be the black person that works here, the black person that
just happen to be in the room.
In the room.
Right.
And I feel like with my merchandise, everybody tells me the same thing is I get the craziest looks. And I'm so glad that you still were confident enough to wear it.
Yes.
You know, you were confident enough to wear this in a room that you knew it might be a little uncomfortable.
Right.
But I just think that that's a part of the bold part, the empowering part is if you can't stand in the truth of it, you know, well, I'm going to help you.
Exactly.
You know, and you either find the people that are for you or the people that are not.
Now, let me ask you this. You started with apparel. Where is Black Women Can going?
Yes.
Because I know it's not just apparel.
Yeah. So when I started it, of course, you know, the launch was just t-shirts. I knew that I wanted my brand to be very minimalistic. Like you'll look at any of the designs and there's not a lot going on. Right. Because that's who I am as a person. And there's a lot of brands out there that will give you, you know, if you want to fro on your shirt, you can get that. Right. The African flag, you can get that. Right. My brand is minimalistic apparel. Right. And then it started graduating into the crew necks and the hoodies, and now we have tons of t-shirts. And after a while, I'm like, okay, I grew a community of people that have had so much fun, you know, watching the clothes flourish, and so many people around the world who buy it. And I said, okay, well, how else do we tell the story of Black Women Can? Because I don't think it was ever supposed to just be apparel. Right. You know, I want to hear the voices of the Black women. Yes. So kind of transitioning into our next phase, where on our 2-year anniversary in September, I will be doing another launch of apparel that will look totally different, as well as some other accessories. But the bigger thing and the bigger picture was, we spoke a little bit about this, is that I'm going to start Black Women Can, the podcast. So I'm so excited to do that.
I'm excited for you.
Because I want to actually spotlight the Black women that are doing, the Black women that are canning, you know. How the slogan is, you can and you will. Like, there's so many stories of Black women that were so afraid, or, you know, had a struggle, or didn't know if they would be able to enter a certain world. And I want those people to talk, and I want them to tell their stories. And, you know, each episode will have a theme of Black women can heal. Maybe you were afraid to get healing from trauma that happened to you. And, you know, a lot of Black people are afraid of therapy. They don't believe in all that. You know, it could be Black women can go to college. A lot of us don't enter certain fields in school or education. And I just want to really find and highlight everyone. And it doesn't have to be you're doing something as phenomenal as, you got a doctor's degree. It can be a Black mom.
Exactly.
A Black mom that is just surviving. I just want the Black women to feel recognized that every single day that they are here, they're doing something,
It's so, it's phenomenal because, and everyone knows that's my word. I'll go into that later. Dr. Maya Angelou, phenomenal woman. I love the whole impact of it. But listening to you, it just still gives me that. Look at how phenomenal we are. And sometimes we're underrated.
Yes.
We're overlooked.
Yes.
So, and a lot of times we have taken that on in our own selves where we don't even see our own value anymore. Yeah. And so Minister Farrakhan did a lecture called The Divine Value of a Woman. And in one of the lines he said in it was, I'm here today to tell you of your value. And a lot of times we don't even know our own value. So when we highlight what Black women are doing, it's not just like you said, a feminist movement. This is not a Black thing. This is a mighty, powerful statement of a group that gets overlooked in all that is done worldwide. Yeah. So I love that Black women can do this and we can do that. And everybody's going to get touched.
Yes.
So that's the phenomenal part. I really want to read this. This comes off your Facebook page. Our message to you. Go after everything they said you couldn't have. The love, the education, the career, the family, the business, the joy, the success, the peace, and especially the luxury. You can and you will.
Oh, I love that.
I love this. That's on my site. Where did that come from? What was the thinking behind those words? And I love the part, especially the luxury. Yes. What was the thinking behind that? Where did that come from?
Yeah. I think a lot of Black Women Can is an extension of me.
Yeah.
And we were talking earlier about the things that I've done in my life, and you mentioned how young I am. And
yeah.
A lot of people, when they meet me, would never know that I started having to fight off a lot of things at a very young age.
Okay.
A lot of things happened to me that, kids don't deserve to go through.
Right.
And then just growing up, trying to find your identity and trying to figure out, am I what happened to me? Right. Am I my surroundings? Am I my family? Am I what I see every day? And it's like, you're not.
Right.
There's so much that's out there for Black women, and Black women are the most taken advantage of, the most abused, the most, manipulated, the least people that are heard, the least that are advocated for or cared about. And I think that so many Black women need that space to say, you are welcome to thrive here. You are welcome to, reach for everything they said you couldn't have. There's that gap. There's, not just sexism, but it's also within, Black women.
Yeah.
Even worse. Like, you think you're a woman in this field making less of $1. Well, imagine what the Black woman is making.
Exactly.
And so many Black women are so afraid to enter these spaces of therapy, of healing, of, making money, of being comfortable, of just being happy.
Yeah.
And, we're always the strong one. The Black women are always got to be so strong and always taking care of everybody else. And it's like, who takes care of the Black woman?
Exactly.
Well, if nobody else going to do it, I'm going to take care of me.
Right.
And I just want Black women to understand that they don't have to rely on somebody to take care of them because they are strong, they are empowered, and it's all within them already. But sometimes it takes some realization that it was there all along.
And we create these ideas of this strong Black woman concept, but you never hear the term strong Asian woman. Oh, she's a strong Indian woman. Oh, that's a strong white woman. So we put this connotation of strong Black woman. And now we have this weight on our shoulders to really reflect something that is, like you said, it's end up creating a space where we can't then say without looking like you're not the strong Black woman, I'm hurting.
I need help.
I need a shoulder. I need someone right now to help me. As a single mom before I was married, it was so many times that the village helped me to get by.
Yeah.
But just as many times as I called on the village, there were a lot of times I literally I suffered not knowing, okay, will this make me look weak? Will this make me look incapable? Do I now not reflect the strength I'm trying to by saying, I need help?
Yeah.
You know, so I get that. And to create that space where we can say, here's a podcast in the comfort of wherever you are. Listen to my words. Tell your story. Hear the other stories. I love that. Now, this isn't your only business. We talked about you being a young woman and running this business, but this is really your second baby.
It is.
Your first baby is Beloved Marketing.
Yes.
So let's talk about that one. You started that how long ago?
I started marketing. I actually legally enforced it as a business in 2020, but I started marketing in 2018.
Okay.
And I just always had a passion for people, but I learned that I was, I think I just learned recently the term is called an ambivert.
Okay.
I'm like an introverted extrovert. Like I do well with people.
Right.
But then you got that little social battery that's like, okay, Raven, you're pushing it for the day. It's time to go home and recharge.
Right. We have met our max.
Yeah, I have met my max, but I learned that on the internet, this new age of the internet, I can do it all day long.
Right.
You know, I'm very good at creating relationships on the internet, and I started doing it for other people and just, you know, helping people and realizing like, okay, I think I know what I'm talking about.
Right.
So before I, incorporated the business, I started doing free clients. And I said, you know, if I'm going to do this, I want to make sure I know what I'm talking about. So I started a social media marketing business where I essentially just took what I knew about developing relationships online and I started studying the actual workings of digital marketing and what works, what doesn't. And as we know, it changes all the time.
Constantly.
All the time. And it changes per platform.
Right.
So I started taking on some free clients and doing some work for them and started building up. And as it was working, I said, okay, maybe I do know what I'm talking about.
Right.
So I said, okay, let's take this full time. And I started a business out of it. And I ended up getting my first corporate marketing job last year, and I interviewed and they sent home the other 3 people.
Excellent.
And they were like, these people have degrees.
Right.
My degree, like I said, is in criminal justice.
Right.
I had to build experience.
Right.
And I was able to land the almost 6-figure paying job from experience. And I still do my business ended up turning into more consulting and coaching. So that's what I still do to this day is I don't full-time manage anymore, but I love to teach people. I love to talk about it. I'll talk about it all day long. So I like to put people in position to not have to hire me to do it for them, but they actually understand what I was doing and they can do it themselves. Because
that's excellent.
All my business, I started from the ground up. And then we were talking about how efficient you are as a new entrepreneur starting your business and you need to invest. A lot of people, when they first start, they don't have the means. So for me, I did everything by myself. A lot of people on my YouTube know me for just giving them the free game of, this is how you start a business. This is how you're going to market it. This is how you're going to talk to the people. This is how you get an LLC. You don't have to pay nobody. This is how you trademark. This is how you do this. I'm not a legal coach, though. You should look this up.
In your butt.
I did it.
Here go the guidance. Excellent.
And that's what my marketing business really went from A to Z was starting off just learning how to set roots when you have a business. Right. And if you want to make this business successful, it's possible to do it on the internet. Excellent. In this new age of marketing.
And you and I talked about it, and it's funny because I went to school for marketing, but we're talking 2000. Now, by the time I'm ready to get a business off the ground, it's 2023. Things have changed drastically from before taking out an ad in the yellow pages. And if you don't know what a yellow page is, it's just dating myself. So we won't even go into it. But where it started. And then now I get into business and everybody like, you need this and that. And it's like, okay, what's a tick and a tock? And what's a Twitterish? And do I DM my Facebook or am I, and it was a lot to learn. So when you say that, there is a whole field of people who they get intimidated by the idea of all this social media and everything that's out here now. Now, the other part I love, and I know is an excellent help for you, is your husband's an entrepreneur as well. Yes. So there's two entrepreneurs. So let me ask you, as a businesswoman, we got Beloved Marketing. We have the corporate account. We have Black Women Can. You have a husband. How do you balance all of that and keep it all going?
Whew, a lot of praying.
Yes.
The grace of God. Well, I will always give glory to God first.
Yes.
Okay, I can't do none of this. But it really takes a lot of organization.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes giving yourself grace.
Yeah.
I am definitely a person that will always just say yes to stuff. I'll do it. Don't worry, I got it. I'll do it. Yep, I can fit it. I'll do it. I got it. Yep, I'll do it. And then I'm over here like, I don't do all this.
Did I say that too?
And don't mention my husband trying to solicit me for marketing.
Right.
He's like, oh, I got in-house marketing.
A whole marketing team.
But, and I will take on his stuff too.
Right.
And, then you still go home. You got to clean up the house. You got to make the dinner. You got to do the things. You got to do the laundry. Take the dog out.
Right.
And it is a lot.
Yeah.
But I had to learn a balance of you don't have to finish everything in one day.
Yeah.
Because I would do that. I would stay up late. I would wake up I'm a very early person. I would wake up super early and then first thing I do is go sit on my computer.
Right.
And I would be so tired and then I would feel guilty if I didn't finish stuff.
Yeah.
And I had to really learn, and I give that credit to my husband, that I'm one person and it's going to be there tomorrow. Right. And I have to take a break. Right. And for me, it's not a matter of it's too much to do. It was just I had this fictional timeline of when it was supposed to be done, right? Or else I was letting myself down, or it's just so you have to really stop being so hard on yourself. Yeah. As entrepreneurs, we're like our biggest critics, and it's like there's no handbook as an entrepreneur. Yeah. It's not an employee handbook. Right. This isn't you start a job and they give you the policies and procedures. Right. This is your story to write. Yeah. And if you need an extra day, take an extra day. Yeah. I had to really learn to take a break. Yeah. Because I would do too much. I love when you say organization. And I think sometimes that's one of the keys. Because between family, husband, children, I have a job still that I'm trying to create the exit strategy for, but right now that's an 8-hour commitment on top of all the other ventures that goes on. And if it wasn't for the organization, and I'll tell you the other one for me, turning the telephone off. There is times I can't just do everything. I can't be everywhere. I can't be involved with everything right now. And I'm learning to say, not now. Yeah. I can get to that another time, but I can't do that now. Yeah. Not right now. I will circle back to that, but not right now. So I am learning. Yeah. I haven't mastered it. God knows I haven't. But I'm, definitely. Learning to say no, learning to prioritize what's up on the list and what's not. Yeah. So let me ask you, with Black Women Can, what was one of the hardest hurdles in getting Black Women Can or Beloved Marketing off the ground? What was one of your hardest hurdles? It will probably be, I don't know if you've ever heard of this term, but it's become more popular, is the imposter syndrome. And it's the fear of yourself. You're in your own way and you don't believe that you are qualified to be in the space. Yes. Yes. And for me, I would get very discouraged sometimes. Yeah. Thinking that, okay, I'm in a real saturated field. Yeah. There's people that have been doing this longer than me. There's people that, have more followers than me. And you get in this really bad space of comparing yourself, comparing your business. And it would sometimes hinder me, and I might go stagnant for a little bit and be like, okay, well, let me stop and let me come up with something better. And it's like, well, people like what you have.
Exactly.
You don't have to change it to match somebody else.
Right.
And it's very easy when you're in a field like, apparel to compare yourself to so many other Black-owned brands, or Black women-owned brands, and just think that you have to do what they're doing.
Right.
And especially when it's your first time entering that field, like in marketing, it was always a service-based business. I had no physical product to sell. I was just selling me.
Right. Exactly.
And I can talk about one thing about me is I can be confident in what I'm talking about and know that you can trust me.
Right.
But when you're selling a physical product, it's like, okay, well, I got to make sure the quality control is good. I gotta make sure designing good, because I design everything myself and make it myself. That's why I say for us, by us. I make everything by hand in my home.
Wow.
And there was this one season where I was still new and I had so many orders, and I ended up getting maybe like 4 people email me saying, hey, I got somebody else's package. And I'm like, oh my God. And that was like a huge hit to me. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, I'm so thankful that they were also understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, no problem. I'll ship it back to you. I'm like, okay, I'll send you the shipping. Let me don't pay for it. Like, I'm so sorry. I'll send you something free too. Like, And I said, okay, Raven, you got to slow down.
Yeah.
You got to slow down. It's a blessing that you're getting orders.
Right.
But you got to remember to take care of the stuff, And that was definitely hard for me because I started getting nervous. I'm like, okay, maybe I should. I don't know. I started doubting myself.
Yeah.
But over time, I had to come up with my own system, my own flow, my own process, and just really understand the value that I had in Black Women Can. It's not like other businesses. It doesn't have to be, So really growing confident in myself and in my business to understand that I do fit.
I'm glad you brought up that point about looking and comparing. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we don't know the struggle the other person you're looking at went through. Mm-hmm. And then we'll look up and they have 10,000, 50,000 followers, and you're like, I want to be there. Mm-hmm. But you don't know the work it took to get there. Exactly. And because I think we're in this society, everything is so fast. It looked like Jay-Z was rapping yesterday and a billionaire today. Beyonce picked up a microphone yesterday and look at her. She's performing in Dubai for $2 million. But you don't know the works. Yeah. And we sometimes, and I think that's the beauty of doing things like this, it's because now you get to say, no, it was work. There were mistakes. There were errors along the way that I had to learn from to get to the point where I can comfortably say, this is something I'm good with. Yes. Yeah. Now, so let's flip. Mm-hmm. What has been the highlight of being an entrepreneur?
Learning my capabilities.
Yeah.
Learning that I could do it.
Right.
It was, like I said, my business before was service-based.
Right.
You book on my website, I call you, we have a little call, we have a meeting, we're good. And then we're done. Entering the space of physical products, I had to learn how to ship stuff. I had to learn how to weigh stuff. I had to learn how to package stuff, how to make stuff, make it right. I wasted a lot of stuff in inventory. And when I finally made it successful, I was like, wow. And then seeing people tag me and them wearing my stuff. And even, I think, Miss USA has this actual crew neck right here. I said,